Before innovation, before impact, and before value, there was language. Before watches could be challenged or improved, the industry had to agree on what the categories were. For instance, what a tool watch was, what purpose looked like, what durability meant, and what design even mattered. Today, we're not talking about the best legacy watches, we're talking about the most important ones. The watches that taught the industry how to speak. Hey, there you are, and welcome to My Dude Watch. My name is Jason, and today we got something special for you. This is part 3 and our final chapter on the most important watches series. This is going to be fun. You know the deal. Grab a snack, pull up a chair, and let's talk watches. If Aliexpress watches are about legitimacy and Microbrands are about evolution, then legacy watches are about language. These are the watches that created the vocabulary that we still use today. And one thing before we get started, this isn't about price. It's not about collectability, and it's not about timeline of releases. This is a mindset chronology. Each of these watches introduced a word or a vocabulary that we still use today. Up first is the language of a tool watch. This is the Rolex Submariner. The Submariner didn't just define dive watches, it defined what a tool watch is supposed to be. Legible, purpose-built, durable, but wearable every day. Before the Submariner, watches did jobs. After it, they became identities. Almost every dive watch since, from affordable to luxury, is speaking the Submariner language. That's why it sits on top of this list. At number 2 is the language of purpose and achievement. And no one defined that more than the influence of the Omega Speedmaster Professional. The Speedmaster taught the industry something powerful. A watch could earn its reputation, not through marketing, not through heritage claim, through the performance under pressure. This is where watches became tied to achievement, to exploration, to human stories. Remember, this is about influence, and that's why the word moonwatch still carries weight today. And now we're talking about the language of access without compromise. The 62 MAS changed who was allowed to participate. It proved that serious tool watches didn't have to be Swiss, and comparatively speaking, they didn't have to be expensive. For the first time, access and legitimacy could coexist between the wealthy and people like you and me. Seiko made this possible with its incredible dive watch. This wasn't about copying the industry, it was about opening the door. And once the door opened, the global watch landscape changed forever. Okay, just a really quick pause. Let me ask you, if this way of thinking about watches resonates, not hype, not flexing, but understanding why things matter, that's exactly what we're building at mydudewatch.com. Buyer's guides, micro lessons, and tools to help you collect with intention. And if this series has helped you see watches differently, hit subscribe because it really does help the channel. This series may be wrapping up for a while, but it's also the foundation for everything else to come. All right, back to it. And now we're talking about the language of design. And what else is more influential than the Cartier Tank? The Tank proved watches could be designed, not just engineered. Geometry mattered, proportion mattered, style, it mattered as well. This watch brought fashion, art, and culture into horology. Without the Tank, design-first watches don't exist the way they do today. This is where watches learn how to look like something different, something special. This design language changed the watch-wearing world, and it gave it permission to explore designs as you see fit. When we talk about the language of durability, what comes to mind? Yeah, I agree with you, the G-Shock. This is the watch that changed expectations forever. A watch could be nearly indestructible, and that was the point. That was the goal, and that was the expectation. This is where utility overtook tradition. No longer was good looks and refinement the centerpiece. It was a play hard, work hard, and your watch will outlast you. Durability stopped being a bonus and became the feature reason to purchase it. No watch brand today ignores what G-Shock taught the market, even if they don't admit it. When you look at this lineup of watches together, can you hear the language that they're speaking? The language of tool, purpose, access, design, and durability. These watches didn't just shape the past, they taught us how to speak, and these brands are still using those languages today. If you watched all 3 of these episodes, thank you for doing that. Aliexpress showed us how legitimacy was earned. Microbrands showed us how the hobby evolved, and legacy watches showed us where the language came from. And I'm really curious, what legacy watches do you think deserves a spot on this list? Drop a note in the comments because I honestly do read every one. Hey, you made it to the end of another video. Thank you for doing that. We appreciate you watching. If you enjoyed what you saw today, please take the time to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It'll only take you a second, but it really does help. All right, it's time to wrap it up, so we will close the show. My name is Jason with My Dude Watch. We'll do it all again next time. But wait, don't forget, dudes can't be late.